Jayne Cravens here again to talk about virtual volunteering. This time I want to address a question I keep seeing over and over again on Twitter and in various blogs. Is virtual volunteering going away after the pandemic is over? No. Why would it go away? Virtual volunteering was here long before this global pandemic. Back in the 1990s, I directed the Virtual Volunteering Project, which was based at the University of Texas at Austin. I tried to track every organization that was involving online volunteers, and I had to give up by about 1998 because there were so many. There were too many. I could no longer keep track of them all. Since then, there have been thousands of organizations involving online volunteers. There's no lists of them anywhere because there's just too many. Here's a much better question. Will all these nonprofits and NGOs and charities and government programs that resisted for decades finally embrace virtual volunteering permanently? And will all of these people and programs that train regarding volunteer management, that have training on volunteer recruitment, training on volunteer retention, will these trainers quit segregating virtual volunteering to the last 5 minutes of their talk or segregating it entirely into its own workshop? Look, I get it. There were a lot of people, especially from the corporate sector, who had never heard of virtual volunteering until now. Absolutely. The global pandemic has created a surge in virtual volunteering like nothing before in its 35-year plus history. I have a book on virtual volunteering. There it is. It's called The Last Virtual Volunteering Guidebook, and I say in my blog why I named it that. The book is meant to help programs create online roles and to use the internet to support all volunteers, not just online volunteers. I sold more copies of the book in 2020 than I sold in all the 6 years combined previous that the book was available. Absolutely, there is a lot more interest in virtual volunteering. Absolutely, there is a lot more virtual volunteering going on now than before the pandemic. But again, there have been thousands of organizations involving online volunteers and using the internet to support all volunteers long before the pandemic. So, of course, virtual volunteering is going to continue after the pandemic. Virtual volunteering just adds so much more flexibility for your volunteers, and it creates a greater diversity of volunteers, and it is a great tool if you care about inclusion in your volunteering program. Virtual volunteering isn't a replacement for on-site volunteering except in the time of a global pandemic. So, enough with the question. Khalas. Will virtual volunteering continue after the pandemic? Of course it will. Thanks for watching. Please like this video. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel and have a look at my website. I have lots more free information about working with and supporting volunteers. Bye. My website is at www.coyotebroad.com. Information on how to order the Last Virtual Volunteering Guidebook can be found there and below in the description of this video on YouTube.